If you sometimes feel a bit wobbly and it's not as a result of any intoxication, then try this 10-minute balance program. Hi everyone, and welcome to Exercise for Health. And in today's short workout, we will be doing 5 exercises that improve your dynamic balance. This is the ability to maintain postural stability while the body parts are in motion. To take part, you will need access to a wall space, a small ball that's ideally a bit squishy like a Pilates ball, but any ball will suffice. And you'll also need an object such as a chair or coffee table as a point of reference in front of you for one of the exercises. Now I'm going to be doing them barefoot to improve the mind-body connection, but you can do this with shoes on if you prefer. So get what you need ready and follow along with me. Right, we're going to begin with leg semicircular swings. So what I want you to do is I need you to stand close to your wall space so it's sideways onto you. And then with the outside leg, what we're going to do is we're going to swing the leg straight forwards in front of you, circle it around to the back, and then swing it straight forwards in front of you again. So we're getting that straight linear motion with a circular motion. We're going to do 30 seconds one way, and then we'll reverse it and do 30 seconds going in the opposite direction before we change sides. So set yourself up and off we go. So we're going to do this, swing to the front, circle round to the back, swing to the front, circle around to the back. So we're working on the mobility of this hip of the leg that I'm moving. And at the same time, we're working on the stability and the balance in that other leg. But I say, stay close to the wall so you can just tap it if you need to. So nice big movement, get as much movement, but keep control of that movement. Right, that's halfway. So let's change the direction. So we're going to swing it around circular to the front and then take it straight back. Round to the front and then take it straight back. So try and remain upright as you're doing this exercise. And you should be feeling that in the hip of the support leg as you're swinging this one around. Keep that control. Last couple of seconds and then we're going to switch. Okay, so let's turn around and do the same on the opposite side. So straight up to the front, round circular to the back. Straight up to the front, circle round to the back. So again, try and keep upright, keep control. Nice steady movement. Obviously the size of your circular movement is going to be dependent on your hip mobility. So just work within your range that you feel comfortable with. That's halfway. Let's change direction. So we're going to swing it round to the front and then take the legs straight back behind you. Round to the front, then straight back. Good, keep that control. So now you should be starting to feel it in the hip of that support leg. Good, try and keep that control. Last couple of seconds. Good, right. Quick rest, and then we're going to go on to the next one. So the next one is going to be a side step pause. So for this one, we're going to be moving laterally, going from left to right. But every time you make that contact with the floor, the other foot comes up and we're going to pause for a split second before we then go back. You dictate how much you move. So obviously the bigger the movement, if you hop or jump across, that's going to make the control a little bit harder when you land. So you choose how much you want to move. Ready? And off we go. So move across, pause, step the other way, pause. So the idea is we're just trying to maintain that balance after we've moved laterally, just for a second or two before we switch back to the opposite side. Good. So keep that control. And this is that dynamic balance that we're after as you're moving, and then you need to control it when you stop. Good. We're doing this for 1 minute. If you find that easy, then you can start moving a little bit further. Try and see if you can more or less hop across or jump across. Good, try and keep the body upright. Keep control of the torso. Last couple of seconds. Well done. Right, now next one is going to be the Captain Morgan. I've got no idea why it's called that, but this is where you're going to need your squishy ball. So you're going to stand sideways on to the wall, and the ball needs to be in line with the knee that's closest to the wall. That's the foot that you're going to lift off the floor, and then basically from there, so you got all the way through this leg, we're then going to do a hip hinge, but you need to really focus on trying to squish the knee into the ball all the time while you're doing the movement. So set yourself up ready, and off we go. So hip hinge, so pushing the bottom right back just so far till you can feel some tension in the hip, and then come back upright so hips come forwards again. So we're constantly trying to push this knee into the ball, so trying to squish the ball into the wall all the time, but that's going to then affect the tension through this hip as well, because it's like you're trying to push this hip or the foot of that leg out across the floor, which is making this one work that much harder. So we're going to do a minute on each side on this one. So just control how much movement you've got when you hip hinge forwards, and then come upright. That's really starting to kick in now here in this support leg. So keep squishing the ball against the wall. It's starting to feel a bit wobbly, so that's again why we've got the wall for support if you need it. Last couple of seconds. Okay, let's switch over. So turn yourself around. Make sure the ball's the same height as your knee, just on the side of the knee. Lift that foot off the floor, squish the knee into the ball, and then hip hinge forwards and back. So really keep squishing the ball into the wall, and where it's wobbly, moving around a lot, that's obviously going to add to the stability for this hip as you're doing the hip hinge. Nice, slow and controlled. So both my hips are on fire now after doing that first minute on the other one. Good. Keep control of the movement. So you don't have to go down too far, just go so far until you can engage these muscles around the bottom, around the hip, and then come back upright again. Last couple of seconds. Good. Okay, right, pop your ball down to one side. So the next one we're going to do is another hip hinge movement, but this time we're going to be reaching out in front. So this is where you're going to need your support, like your chair or a low table. And there's a lot more balance involved with this one because we're going to stay on one leg. But essentially from there, I'm going to hip hinge and I'm going to reach out in front to try and tap my chair or table support and then come back upright again. For this one, we're going to do 1 minute on each leg. So set yourself up and off you go. So hip hinge, reach forwards, see if you can reach your support, and then come back upright again. So nice, slow and controlled. Now, if you want to make this harder, instead of just reaching straight forwards, you can then start to reach on a little bit of an angle. So if you wanted to, I could now reach over to my left and tap that side of my armchair, then come back upright. Then I can reach over to the right, and you can see now how my balance is having to work that much harder to try and maintain control. But if you want to, just stick to the one straight in front of you and then come back upright. Good, so where we don't have the support with the other leg against the wall like on the last one, it will make it feel that much harder in terms of your balance. Okay, switch the feet over. Let's do the same on the other one. So take the foot off the floor and then slowly hip hinge forwards, maintain that slight bend in that support leg knee, and then come back upright. If you want to introduce that twist, then instead of reaching straight out in front, then you can reach on an angle. So you can reach over to one side as you hip hinge, which is going to challenge your balance that much more, and then reach over to the other side. So again, you just control how much movement you got. If you can't actually reach your support, it doesn't matter too much. Even if it's a small movement, it's really working into that balance and stability, as long as you keep that control. Good, last couple of seconds. Brilliant. Okay, Right then, the last exercise we're going to do is a tightrope walk. Now this is where we're going to be walking forwards and backwards, and I'm going to basically place the heel of one foot in front of the toes of the other foot as I walk, going forwards, and then reverse it, toes go to the heel as you come back. Now if you find this one particularly difficult in terms of your balance, you can actually place the foot to the side of the other foot, so you're still keeping that width. Off you go. So just take a nice steady pace, stay close to your support if you need it for balance purposes, but we're just gently moving forwards and backwards, trying to get one foot in front of the other. Obviously it depends on how much room you've got in your space as to how many steps you take, but it doesn't have to be too many. Good. So again, heel to toe, heel to toe, heel to toe, and then when you reverse it, toe to heel. So trying to keep that alignment of the feet as you go forwards and backwards. Now the muscles around the hips are particularly tired from doing those other exercises. It will make the balance a little bit more challenging. Good. And that completes your balance workout. Well done. I hope you enjoyed these balance exercises today. If so, please give this video a like by clicking the thumbs up button below, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. You can check out the description below for a link to our playlist of workouts on this channel. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay active and keep moving to feel better.